In early April of this year, myself and a partner of mine, Dave Rapp, along with a nurse, are going to Belize City in Belize as part of a mission trip with the organization Giving to Extremes to perform urologic surgeries for those in need of that service. We are going down intending to perform several surgeries for patients with prolapse, vesicovaginal fistulas, as well as several patients with bladder cancer and kidney cancer. Urologic care as it stands in Belize is certainly difficult to come by for most people. There is one urologist in the whole country that does his best to deliver care as best he can. Bringing some new equipment down there that they have not been able to have access to. In particular, we're hoping to bring an instrument to help deal with bladder cancer. It's an instrument that we take for granted here in the United States. It was invented in the 1930s and they still don't have it in Belize. So I think the platform of Giving to Extremes is really unique and it's pretty inventive. It's very similar to Facebook, in fact, where we're going to be able to give you updates throughout our trip, basically blogging, if you will, and sending pictures, even some videos, and you're going to be able to check in from time to time and be able to see our progress and actually see what we're doing on these trips. And then when we come back, we'll be able to put it all together into one video and really give you a great summary of what we were able to do down there and what these donations have really meant to these people. Last time we went to Belize, our experience was great. The conditions certainly are not what you would come to expect compared to here in the United States. The operating rooms are basically archaic. The power, the instruments, the air conditioning, the lights, everything that we take for granted here, down there are luxuries, and you have to make do with what you have, and oftentimes that means subpar instruments or not instruments that you would normally have available to you here that aren't available there at all. Operating in heat that you would not normally have to tolerate here, and not having the necessities that you take for granted here, such as suture and sharp instruments and needle holders that hold needles and those types of things. So it really puts things into perspective when you come back and see what we have here in the U.S. When we go to Belize City, patients come from all over the country into the city to come seek care. Many of the patients travel long distances, many by foot or any other means necessary, where we had several nurses that went out of their way to accommodate us. We did operate until 11, 12 o'clock at night on several occasions, and they were more than willing to put in overtime to help these people and help us get done as much as we can when we were there. One thing that struck me about Belize is the fact that it's known as this tropical paradise, and it's a great center for tourism, especially the beaches and the diving. And yet, on the other hand, you've got this country that is living in poverty and so many people in need of just basic necessities, including medical care. I was a part of a group that went to Haiti. There were 4 of us that went down, all urologists. We saw hundreds of patients in a number of several days and performed about 35 to 40 operations during the week that we were there. We were able to perform a lot of very basic urologic procedures, but also cancer procedures, stone procedures, procedures to improve people's quality of life. And we left with the feeling that we had done a lot of good, but there was so much more there that needed to be done. In the OBGYN ward, the new babies were were held in their bassinets, which were actually drawers that they removed from dressers. I remember the entrance to the surgery ward was basically a picket fence that you had to open and close, and it creaked in when you opened and closed the door. For me, these trips represent a way that I can give something meaningful to people that I can actually see. It's great to be able to participate in something where you actually see the person that you are affecting, and you can see the results of your work make that person's life better. Giving to extremes is very important for several reasons. First of all, certainly there's raising funds to make these trips possible, but really this provides a platform for people to be able to see the work that we're doing and to see the lives that it affects, and so people can see these stories and hear about these people and know that you know exactly where these donations are going to, and that this is not just a donation that's made into a cloud of funds that you don't know what's happening to this money. This money is going directly to help these people, and certainly the Giving to Extremes organization has really helped make that possible, and hopefully we'll continue to be able to do that and grow even larger. When I was in Haiti, we were staying in basically a medical village, but there were farm animals all around: chickens, pigs, goats. I do remember one occasion when I was walking down a path and there was a rock wall next to me, and this was within 50 feet of the hospital, and as I turned the corner I did startle a goat that was sitting on the rock wall, who fell literally onto my head. That's not something that you typically experience on your way to work here in the United States.